gathered all of your supplies and you've marked out the bed, you know where your hoops are going to go. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of rebar and your hammer and you're going to pound it in. You want to get at least half of the length of rebar in there. The reason being, this is going to be spring loaded, so you want to make sure you have enough of the rebar in there to make it stable. Once you have both of your pieces of rebar in, you're going to take your PVC and you're just going to slip it right over the rebar. Then work on grabbing the other end carefully, because there is a lot of tension in this, and if it slaps you, it's going to hurt. You're just going to grab it, bend it over, and gently slip it right over and push them down a little bit, and you're good to go. That's all it takes. The importance of measuring out your bed is because you want to prevent your plastic sheeting from becoming a swimming pool. And every time it rains, it'll collect water, it'll bend your PVC, it'll crush your plants. So it's really important to make sure you have probably no more than about 4 feet in between hoops. So be careful to measure and install your rebar about every 3 to 4 feet. And then once you get all of your PVC in place, it's time to cut your plastic and put your plastic sheeting on. When you're ready to put the plastic on, grab your roll and start about 2 feet from your first hoop and just gently unroll and go the length all the way down to your last hoop, and go again about 2 to 3 feet, somewhere around like that, and then you're going to cut it. So the next step is to open up your plastic sheet, and you're going to drape it over your hoops. It helps to have a second person, but I've done it by myself before, so it is possible. It's like making a bed. Once you get your plastic open, you want to center it, you want to position it so that it comes down to the sides all the way around on the length. The ends, if it's a little short and the ends aren't completely covered, don't panic. That's perfectly fine. You get it all in place, and then the last step is the clips. It's really important that you make sure your plastic is tight or taut, however you want to call it, in between hoops, because any sagging will give water a place to gather. So pull it and clip it to make sure that it's tight. I do the middle of these on the top like this first, and then I do the sides. And you're going to want to pull it down and clip the sides as best as you can. Make sure that when you do this and you put it on the PVC, you push it all the way in there so that the clip is firmly around the pipe and secures the plastic. Otherwise, if you only put it on, say halfway like this, a good wind is going to send it flying. So to close up on the ends, what I do is I pull it out like this and just bring it over to the side and clip it in place like that. This isn't completely 100% airtight, and that's okay. If it were completely airtight, we'd have to worry about too much moisture building and fungal issues. By allowing small amounts of airflow, we hopefully can prevent that from happening. And then on the sides, I like to take rocks or bricks, whatever I have handy, and I weight the excess down so that it's a little more stable in high winds. So despite having hoops up in place, some of these plants just aren't doing well. My romaine is not going to survive. My red leaf lettuce did not survive. But if you see the spinach, the arugula, and the tatsoi, they're doing beautifully. So it's some success, not all success. It's a question of knowing which varieties will work, and personally, I won't try doing this with romaine again next year. The lettuces can be real hit or miss, and that's the truth. The best thing to do is experiment with varieties and look for varieties that are known to do well in cold weather. These right here are the Salanova lettuces that are sold exclusively by Johnny Seeds. And I was really surprised that despite the fact that they say they don't do severe freezing, that these made it through temperatures as low as 19 degrees with hooping. The best advice I can give you for what to plant in your beds during the cold months is to stick with varieties that are known to grow in cold weather. Cabbages are a beautiful example of what you can grow, and these, to some extent, don't really need to be hooped. But we do it when we know we have temperatures going down really cold, below 20 degrees, just to give them a little bit of protection and ensure that they don't get frost damage. We have your typical cabbages here that you might find in the grocery store, and of course Asian varieties here. All of these do really well in cold weather.